We just made a fortune!
The Fifth Fleet is positioned, sir, but the cyber front is compromised.
Two superpowers, two worlds, and one global system splitting in half. Tonight, we uncover the story of how the United States and China stopped competing and started building two different futures.
We must finalize the terms today. The global markets are too volatile.
My position on the semiconductor trade remains.
In late 2025, something fundamental changed. The era of engagement was over. And what emerged was an age of asymmetric bifurcation. Two powers no longer playing the same game, no longer sharing the same system, no longer heading toward the same destiny. The eagle, financial, innovative, digital. The dragon, industrial, physical, relentless. This is the new reality of the US-China rivalry.
In 2025, America hit an impossible milestone, a $71 trillion stock market, the highest in history, propelled by the AI boom and surging investor confidence. Across the Pacific, China's markets were frozen. A $12 trillion valuation, 1/6 of America's, buried under a collapsing property sector and a shrinking population. The US economy was floating upward. China's was grinding forward. But here's the twist. China wasn't losing. It was evolving. Where America built wealth, China built factories. While US tech giants spent $200 billion on data centers, China created the world's most powerful physical economy, from EVs to batteries to ships. Two models, two strengths, two vulnerabilities. On paper, the US military still looks unbeatable. A $997 billion defense budget and global reach across 800 bases. China, only $314 billion. But that number is a lie. Adjusted for purchasing power, China's real military capacity is 57% of America's, and nearly all of it flows into hardware, not salaries. Then comes the number that terrifies US planners. China's shipbuilding capacity is 200 times larger. Not double, not 10 times, 200. In a short war, America's technology might dominate. But in a long war, China could replace ships faster than the US could lose them. And with the Ream naval base in Cambodia now fully operational, China has stepped beyond the near seas into the far seas. The United States still dominates the technological frontier. HPC, frontier AI, advanced chips. But sanctions failed to stop China's momentum. In 2025, SMIC cracked 5M chips without EUV machines. Slow, costly, inefficient, but operational. The United States still dominates the technological frontier. HPC, frontier AI, advanced chips. But sanctions failed to stop China's momentum. In 2025, SMIC cracked 5nm chips without EUV machines. Slow, costly, inefficient, but operational. China was willing to spend billions just to avoid depending on America again. Meanwhile, a new trend emerged. The global South embraced Chinese AI. Cheap, fast, open source. Models like DeepSeek and Qwen are becoming the digital backbone of Africa, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. The world isn't choosing sides. It's choosing compatibility and cost. In the West, the US remains the undisputed cultural superpower. But in the global South, the winds are shifting. Mexico, 56% pro-China. Indonesia, South Africa, Turkey, the same story. Beijing's message is simple: no lectures, no conditions, no ideology. Through the Global Security Initiative, China trains thousands of soldiers and police officers, embedding Chinese doctrine into the institutions of entire continents. America still inspires, but China has become indispensable. In Asia, China has reached the peak of its diplomatic influence, while the US sees its lowest score ever in the Asia Power Index. But one power rises: India, a new major power and the only nation big enough to bend the arc of the Indo-Pacific. In Africa, China evolves from builder to security provider. In Latin America, Chinese EV plants enter Mexico to slip through the USMCA trade gates right into America's industrial backyard. The battlefield is no longer defined by armies, but by supply chains, ports, and data flows. The next 5 years could reshape the century. Scenario 1, the industrial squeeze. As the US Navy shrinks to 283 ships by 2027, China exploits the gap, ramping pressure on Taiwan and the South China Sea without crossing the threshold of war. Scenario 2, innovation breakout. If America's AI boom drives real productivity, the US could reindustrialize faster than China can catch up. But if AI stalls, the US faces a fiscal crisis. China faces its own wall: low-yield 5nm chips forever. Scenario 3, the multipolar shuffle. The global South becomes multi-aligned, using dollars and yuan, buying US and Chinese tech, playing both sides, and belonging to neither. The eagle and the dragon are no longer rivals. They are different species. America, a network power, finance, alliances, software, innovation. China, a production power, manufacturing, logistics, hardware, geography. The question is no longer who will win, but rather, can the United States rebuild its physical strength before China breaks through its innovation ceiling? As of 2025, the future belongs to the eagle, the present belongs to the dragon, and the world is learning to live with both.